Okay, welcome everybody to the Old Town Podcast. I'm sitting here with my beautiful bride, Stacy K. Fisher. And Stacy, would you mind introducing our guest this week?
Yeah, here we have is the, what are you? The Director of Mogwai. Mm-hmm. And this is Stephanie Braun.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Right. Stephanie Braun.
I think you wear many hats. Mm-hmm. Braun. You like to say Braun?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the way we pronounce it around these parts.
Mm-hmm. How do you think they pronounce it in Germany? Because it's like a German kind of descendant.
Braun.
Still? Mm-hmm. I don't know what I've been saying all along. Braun. I just feel like people know how to spell it when I say Braun.
Well, how do you spell it?
Braun.
And
Braun is... Anyway, doesn't matter, like a crayon color.
so if it was brownie, there would be a W in it because that's the paper towels. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that you do wear a lot of hats, I think alluded by Stacy. And I just want to point out that a full introduction would be Stephanie Marie Victoria Braun Giesecke. Mm-hmm. That's pretty fun.
Yep.
And do you go by that? Like if I shouted across, we're at Valley Fair and there's a huge crowd of people and I have to get your attention, do I say Stephanie Marie Victoria Braun Giesecke?
It's an option.
Okay.
You could do that. I just got married in September, so I've had the last name Braun for my whole life, which is around mid-30 age bracket.
Like 21 years.
So I'm adjusting to the new last name. Mm-hmm. But professionally, I still go by Braun.
Mm-hmm. Braun. Right.
Yep.
Braun.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Potato,
whatever.
Tomato.
Tomato, Braun, Giesecke. Right. So we have some... So with being a director of Mogwai, for people who don't really even know what that is or what that means, like wearing a bunch of different hats, like what are some of the things that you have to manage?
Yeah, let's hear about your day. Walk us through a day.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends on the day. Every day is different, so yes.
Today's Monday?
Yep.
What's Monday look like?
Monday starts at Wissywig, where I pick up our local juice and their power bite delivery for the cafe. So I feel like I need to back up. So I'm the director of a co-working space. Mm-hmm. Then I am also in charge of the Hub Food Truck Park, which is opening up next week.
Which is kind of like a perk for people in the Hubbard building as well as the community type of thing.
And Mogwai Collaborative is located in the Hubbard building, which is next to the Hub Food Truck Park. And then I'm also a point of contact for all of the tenants for the Hubbard building.
Okay.
So within the Hubbard building, there is something that's called the Honest Cafe, which we stock with Wissywig, who is a local juicery around here. They're on Front Street. And then we also partnered with Wooden Spoon. That is a local bakery and deli, I guess I would classify it as. And they have their food in our cafe as well. And then we have Apotha Coffee Roastery, which they
Best coffee ever.
Yep, they make their own coffee. So everything, we try to keep it as local as possible. And then there's also just like other snacks that you can get like in vending machines. So on Mondays is cafe day. So I stock the cafe on Mondays and do all of the inventory and price it and see how honest people actually were at the Honest Cafe.
Sure.
What do you mean? What was...
Sometimes it's
just honest.
A little off. The inventory.
But I don't understand
versus the money.
How can it be off? Isn't there like a person that checks you out?
Nope. So the reason why it's called the Honest Cafe is it's just grab and go, and there's a square set up, and it's based on your own personal honesty. If you're gonna.
So you could grab and literally go.
Yep.
If you were dishonest.
Correct.
But it says it right in the name, like honest. Mm-hmm. So you think about it.
Yep.
Okay.
Think about it.
And it works, kind of?
For the most part. Honestly, I'm really surprised how not off the inventory is for as much as it could be off, if that makes sense.
So was this like a social experiment, or is it the building management or whatever? Are they just cheap and couldn't hire somebody, or what?
I don't know.
I feel like it's very forward thinking.
So literally, so hang on a second.
Think about your
Let me-
checkout in Target.
I got to hear this one more time. So, okay, let me try to say what I'm thinking I'm understanding.
Okay.
So you go into the Honest Cafe that you've stocked on a Monday with WYSIWYG and Apothecary and
Wooden spoon.
Apothecary coffee and Wooden Spoon. And you stock the fridges and all the things
there's-
and the racks and the whatever.
Yep.
And then I come in and I grab like a sandwich and a Snickers and a Red Bull. I'm just kidding. I'd probably, actually, I'm not totally kidding.
You would definitely grab a Red Bull.
I know. It keeps me going.
And an espresso.
Oh, there's an espresso machine too.
Yep.
Yeah, so I grab those things, and then instead of like paying someone, I just walk over and type in what I'm taking
Yep.
on a thing and on an iPad. And then you just check out.
Yep. There's pictures of it all on there. It's all labeled.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
And for the most part, it's not a dishonest market.
Correct.
It's living up to its name. That's what you're saying.
Yep.
Oh, well, they should just do that at grocery stores then. They'd save a lot of money.
Well, but you also need people need jobs, like grocery, you know. But they
I'm
already
a bigger
are.
fan of just making more
They
money
are
and then distributing
already.
it so that we can
They
all just hang out
are
on
already
beaches.
doing things like that, like at Target and bigger thing. You have your own personal checkout. But anyway,
Okay. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
tangent. I was just kind of curious about that Honest Cafe part. Okay, so what's next? You're stock the cafe.
Well, it doesn't all go in that order. So at 8:30, I'm at WYSIWYG. Then I come here and I put the WYSIWYG in the inventory, and I receive Wooden Spoon and I put them in the inventory. And then I take a mental snapshot of where we're at with all of the other inventory levels as far as like pizzas, drinks, chips, any candy,
What's the hottest seller?
the ham sandwiches.
nice.
Who makes
The
those?
Mother Hubbard ham sandwich.
Yep.
Is that a licensed
Yep.
sandwich
So then, what do
provider?
you do after that?
So then we have meetings at Office Space Design at 9 a.m. to kind of keep everyone on track. And then depending if I have a member tour or like today I had a meeting, I had to go to that afterwards. Then I go up to Sam's Club and buy a lot of stuff in bulk, load that all up, drive back down, unload all of it, put it all in inventory. And usually by around like 3 o'clock, I think I can finally check my emails for all the other stuff.
Right. So Monday's a restock day. and
Yeah,
kinda
Monday's a
just
cafe day.
gearing up to where what you're doing in the week, and
What was your meeting about this morning?
Innovation.
that's a hot word.
It's a big word. I feel like there's a lot behind it.
Yep.
There
where you're
must
like-
be. Seems to be a lot of meetings about it.
Where it's like, it would be like looking down a glass tunnel.
Okay.
Where are we? I don't know. I want to be over there, but I can't quite get there because I don't know where to go.
Yep.
I see.
I don't know. That's
So
what
was
I
it a-
thought on the word innovation.
Was it a good meeting this morning?
But I think there is some progress. So who was the meeting with?
I don't know if I'm at liberty to share all that yet.
Oh,
What do you mean?
That's pretty cool.
Oh, maybe I should have rephrased. Could you share? No. Okay, we get that.
Yep.
So it's
so it's like a top secret.
top secret, highly
innovation
confidential
meeting.
innovation meeting. Cool. Your job.
That's another
sounds
hat.
Awesome. Do
Yeah,
you
like detective.
do you have like a small pistol?
A pistol?
Yeah,
It seems a little Dick Tracy.
it does.
Oh, that way. No pistol.
You don't have like a little like leg pistol or whatever you call it.
No,
a boot
what I'm
pistol?
learning
Or do you have a knife
with
at
all
least?
this innovation talk is that there's something that's called intellectual property.
Oh,
And there's some things that we just need to keep talking about until we're ready to reveal that to the community so everybody feels, honestly, I feel like safe and on the same page and that they're ready to,
present it.
move forward in a collaborative front. But
So it's
Well, you wouldn't.
strategically
It's almost like
inclusive.
you wouldn't want to say anything, so then that someone else doesn't take it and then go on Shark Tank.
Right.
You know, like I got this idea, heard it on the streets of Old Town. I'm gonna go on Shark Tank and
Make $1 million.
make $1 million off of your idea.
So that's intellectual property.
Yep,
It's smart property.
sure is.
Cool. Okay, so then what's next? So now you have to do a follow-up or something with that meeting? Because innovation is a big thing, and it's like what we're really focused in Old Town on right now, it seems like, I think like even the small businesses have that in their vocabulary right now, that word.
Innovation, it's a very broad word, and it can be used differently for different people. But to be innovative is to try something new. So it's a new way about going about it. But that's what makes it tough, is that there's no real roadmap, and we can, what I'm doing is we can look at these other institutions that are doing the same thing, like the Brookings Institute, any of the innovation centers that are all over the United States, and take the research that they've learned and try to apply it to our own community. But it's challenging because we are a smaller community. It's a relatively new topic. It does involve change and going against the grain of maybe how you're usually used to doing something. And being in a smaller town that is predominantly German, or, like my last name is German Bohemian, it's change is hard and it's not easy. And people like to do things the same and they like the routine.
Sure.
So yeah, it's a lot of researching and just trying to figure out how can we connect all of the dots with all of these people and work together. And especially when the community is smaller and maybe some of these people have grown up their whole lives with each other, or there's backstories, there's maybe business relationships that didn't work out, there's personal feelings that get involved in it. And to be able to put that all aside and come together
innovative.
as a force, all agreeing, takes time.
Well, one way to maybe think of it, if anyone's watching Game of Thrones,
Yes.
we are at a point where all the sides have to come together
Yep.
despite hard feelings to survive.
Right.
Spoiler alert. I should have said that before I said.
No,
what
I think
said.
you didn't give away too much.
Right.
So that's that.
We all
kind
knew
of-
that was coming. I mean, winter has been coming for a long
For
time.
a very long
I
time.
hope it's over.
No.
But no, winter. You don't know. There's been snowstorms in May before.
He was talking about Game of Thrones.
Oh, I know.
Winter's coming.
Yeah, no,
but-
I know. I was talking about our own winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, winter is.
So that's what I'm trying to do with my role as the director of Mogwai Collaborative. There's a lot of innovation, forward-thinking, collaborative talk. It's a new way of working. It's a new way of thinking. It's a new way of doing business. And then we ourselves are a local business ourselves. So we also are dealing with our own growing pains, figuring out what it is that the community needs from us. How can we improve? How can we be better? And then that's also the same goal with the Hub Food Truck Park. The idea behind it was to bring community together and to draw people down to the Old Town area. And then they can go across the street and go shop all of the local shops, have it be a destination place. It's a free event space for the community to use to their advantage.
What do you mean by free?
So if you want to host
Other than I know what free means, but I mean,
it doesn't cost you
It
any
doesn't
money.
mean honest.
it's different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But what do you mean by that? It's
So if you want to host your event at the Hub Food Truck Park, basically all you do is contact me and we'll work together to make that happen.
Can you give me an example?
So if Betty wants to have her daughter's birthday party, they could rent out.
It's a free space.
That's fun.
Yep. So she could have the party there. And then depending on the day, if we have food trucks booked or not, we can try to work to make that happen.
I see.
Because it's also, the food trucks don't just come to the Hub Food Truck Park. They have their own schedule that they have
Right.
all summer long. So to try to get them also here on days that they have availability is
Right,
a
like-
challenge all within itself, too.
Right. It's like thinking about booking a band is very similar to booking a food truck. Mm-hmm. They got schedules,
Yep.
places to be.
Yep.
Except for that band would need to pay you.
Oh, yeah. A little bit different.
Yikes.
Okay. So the subject of food truck and winter is no longer coming to Minnesota. So we're approaching May. I know that you have a big day coming up,
Yep.
May 1st, other than it being my birthday, of course.
Right.
And May Day and whatever. Tell us about kind of what's going on there.
So the grand opening for the Hub Food Truck Park is May 1st from 11 to 2, and we've got 4 food trucks lined up. And then we also partnered with MSU Center of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and there's going to be 12 student pop-up shops that
Cool.
will be there, so the community can come and check out what the students are working on, and just come
That's
on
pretty
out.
fun.
Yep, come outside. There'll be music, either live music or just music over a speaker.
Sure.
Depending on what I can get lined up still.
Yeah.
But we've got 4 food trucks coming, and then my goal this year for the Hub Food Truck Park is to try to create more consistency with it. And that has also been challenging because, like I said, the food trucks have their own schedules. So like on Tuesdays, we have 2 days in May that we're doing a Taco Tuesday event. I'm in the talks right now with 2 food trucks from the Twin Cities for a Twin Cities takeover, so they'll come down.
That's a fun
Yep.
verbiage or whatever.
Wednesdays, we will have 3 food trucks every Wednesday. Thursdays will be a meet and greet food truck is her name, and she is a pro wrestler.
Oh.
So she's coming down. And then on Saturday, May 4th, we have May the 4th Be With You. So we partnered with the Dork Den, which is a local comic book store down here on Riverfront. And there'll be food trucks, Star Wars costume contest, Star Wars music. There's prizes that are valued at $100.
Wow.
So, yeah, it should be a fun-filled family day. And
What
now
day is May 1st?
May 1st is a Wednesday.
Okay, so
Yep.
Wednesday is the opening day.
Yep.
Is that May 2nd, the pro wrestler is coming that day?
We'll see if she booked after this podcast. It literally just happened.
Okay. You'll have to check your email
I'll
after
have to
you
see if she actually booked it. Yeah.
after you finish stocking the Honest Cafe.
Right.
And then Friday,
Friday, we have 2 food trucks booked.
Okay.
Evan's Eatery, and then also Meet and Greet is the name of the pro wrestlers food truck, and she's a female, which is
wait,
pretty
is that
exciting.
Thursday or Friday?
Both.
Oh, both days.
Yep.
Okay.
And then she'll be here every Thursday in May.
Oh, wow.
Is the plan. We'll see if that happens. And then Saturday is
May 4th.
Yep. And what I would like to do this year with the Hub Food Truck Park, as far as events go on Saturdays, is that we will host 1 event a month, and the rest of the weekends are left open for the community to take advantage of booking their own events
Right.
there as well. Mm-hmm. And
It's even a good idea. Like, I had a girl text me randomly looking for a space to host, like, her girlfriend's baby shower. Mm-hmm. Like, random like that. Or I've played an event last year that was like someone's political whatever thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's
So it's
been
like
job
very
fairs
all over the place.
Job fairs have hosted at the Hub Food Truck Park. Mm-hmm. There's been surveys that have been done there when certain companies are trying to collect research. They've set up shop there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all over the place. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Employee lunch parties.
And then it runs, so it starts May 1st, and then we can expect certain things happening until
probably, well, it all depends on the weather.
October, or when is it closed? When is...
Usually around October.
I think I heard... Did you say October 31st? He's on
We'll see. It all depends if winter is coming back.
sooner? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then the biggest thing that's happening this summer at the Hub Food Park is that the farmers market is moving down on
Ooh,
Thursdays.
That's nice.
Yep, so that's starting June 6th from 3:30 to 6.
Awesome.
So the farmers market that was at Best Buy on Thursdays will now be down at the Hub Food Park.
They've been talking about that for a long time. I mean,
Well,
like the community has been talking
It
about.
seriously fulfills my fantasy of being like, oh, I'm going to go with my child and wear like some almost like Mary Poppins dress and be like, what shall I pick out? You know.
You interrupted me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't remember what I was going to say now.
Now you're thinking about Mary
Old Town's
Poppins.
been talking about having the farmers market come down for a long time.
Yeah. It has. Mm-hmm. Since I've been here. I mean, even just the community in general has been asking for a downtown farmers market for a really long time. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty neat.
Good job.
So good job.
Thanks, yeah.
Everyone will be very...
I'm excited. Now
you're
I
like
just
the
need you all to
savior.
come out and support us so it's a success. So they
they
want to
stay.
stay here.
Makes sense.
I'm trying to work with the city, get some sidewalks put up, or I mean, not sidewalks, crosswalks, so we can cross the street. We have sidewalks already. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and hopefully that will just help. You know, I think everyone that works down in this area is very passionate about local business, and that's, I know, where my passion comes from. And I just want to not only obviously help support our own local business, but the local businesses around us, because if they're thriving, then that most likely means that we're thriving too.
Yeah, it's about density, right? So if you attract a bunch of people in one form or another to a certain area, that area thrives no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Like I would like my vision for Old Town, obviously along with all of my super top secret innovation meetings
right.
that I cannot disclose on this podcast. Stay tuned. Maybe next one. But also just to have it be a destination place. Like I think of like Stillwater, Minnesota, and how fun and cute and walkable that is. And you just start at one end of the area, stop down at Mom and Pop's, get your ice cream, and you just walk in and out of all the shops, and it's super fun and super cute, and we can do the food truck things, have fairs, do all that stuff. So
Yeah.
that's my vision of what I think I would like to see down here, and I think the local businesses probably feel the same way. Mm-hmm. It's just have pedestrian safety and obviously efficient traffic running through, all those things. But yeah, and it's just a really fun area to be in. I like being in Old Town. I love the old buildings. I think they're really beautiful, and I don't like run-of-the-mill.
Right.
Yeah, I like more
So
local.
speaking of like the Old Town and the history and that kind of thing, at one time, it was pretty progressive and innovative.
What time was that?
I would probably say in like, the 30s and then again in the 50s, probably I think the 70s, and then the
Wasn't
90s
there
it kind of
just
like
a T-shirt that was rediscovered from the 70s?
in the 90s it kind of died
Okay.
because the mall came in.
And now the mall's dying.
And several malls came in, but the big mall came in the 90s, and that's what kind of killed it for a long time. Because it was really, everyone was so excited about going to the mall.
Right.
So that's a density thing. They were like, how do we attract all the people? Well, we build a mall. And that was a thing for urban sprawl for a long time.
Well, right. Going to the mall was like a thing
was super fun.
in the 90s when I was a child, I remember.
And now, full circle, is coming back to now malls are kind of a place that sometimes you have to go.
Where you watch your children.
And where you really want to hang out is in the history of the space. Maybe it's more of a hipster thing, or I don't know, a generational thing, but it's all about coming back and being a part of supporting local and
Right.
being
Well,
outside, and it's more of an experience now
Well,
culturally.
yeah, I do feel like this era or this of our
Millennials.
we're definitely more about being authentic as much as we probably can be. Whereas if you go to a mall or whatever, you're going to run into more corporate, all like general. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Is that the right words?
Consumerism.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I love that. That's working. So kind of back to that innovation thing. What is the result? What's the results what are the benefits of
Well, if
of
you're
what
not,
happens?
I mean, just in general for communities and businesses, if you're not being innovative, you're probably not going to stick around very long. I mean, you just have to constantly be changing how you're doing business and how that's working for you. I mean, just with how technology is these days, what's going to change in 30 years is, I mean, look how fast things have changed now just since the 80s. So, but being innovative within a community is keeping things, I think, new and fresh and attracting talent. And what Stacy was saying, like being authentic, that's something that is, I think, really important to the millennial generation. And I mean, not just the millennial generation, a lot of different people. You're not looking for everything to be the same and the run of the mill. You like getting one of a kind pieces. People like to know where it came from, you know, who created it, what's the story behind it. And that's just what goes into supporting a community. And that's what makes or breaks a community, in my opinion, is the local businesses. It's the culture that when you go to a town, what's the culture that you're seeing there? What's the vibe? Is it that you're seeing Best Buys and Walmarts and, you know, all of these corporate things? Not that there's anything wrong with those. I mean, those are, you can get good stuff there too, you know? But the culture is what I'm talking about. And when you go to these different towns, what makes it fun and authentic is the culture that they have created within their own community and the local businesses that they're supporting and putting on display.
Right.
So would you say that I've just heard a lot about talent and what it means to attract talent, and then what the kind of quantitative results are in that, in creating culture and in creating innovative thought process, is kind of starts and ends with good quality talent and retention of that talent. So attraction and retention of people that are innovative, slightly creative, or just really good at what they do. Is that part of it too? I mean, I've heard so many different theories about that. So when you're talking about creating an innovation district or creating an innovative building or an innovation center, is it, how much of that has to do with talent, and what's that like?
Well, I mean, in my opinion, it's yes and no. It's kind of a double-edged sword, because you need to have things that are going on already in your community that is going to attract talent, that's going to want to keep people here, that's going to want them to set their life up here, you know.
That's the culture thing you were talking about?
Start their business, buy a home. What is it that's going to, what is already happening in this city that's going to make them want to stay here is one aspect of it. So you have to already have that within your community. But then you also need the talent to stay around and to create that in your community. So I don't know. I think it's tricky, but you need both of them in order for it to work, in my opinion.
So it's sweet that we have 5 colleges, and they all produce a certain probably percentage of extraordinarily hireable individuals. And the problem is that they're moving to major metros,
Right.
instead of staying in Mankato.
Right.
Like the top talent is leaving at a high ratio. So Mankato kind of, I don't hate to use the word groom, right? Because it's weird. But we're grooming all of this talent, and then the top talent leaves.
Right.
And so then it would be sweet, in my opinion, to find some things that really differentiate this city, like.
But what about, I just had a thought to just interject.
Okay.
Or do you want to finish that?
No.
Well, my thought is, okay, so you're grooming all these talented people and they're leaving. But ideally, most of those people then go out and gain some real life experience. And then there's like a turnaround where that same person would maybe want to come back to a city or a size like Mankato.
I actually had this conversation with
Your top secret person?
No, this is he wasn't.
I thought we were going to slip
He's
it.
not top secret, but he was definitely a very beloved community member, which was Jonathan Zert, who was the former president of Greater Mankato Growth. And he referred to what you're talking about, Stacy, as called the boomerang generation.
Okay.
So they're like a boomerang. They leave and then they come back. And I definitely myself personally fall under the category of the boomerang. I am an MSU alumni. I graduated from MSU, and then I moved out to Los Angeles for 11 years, and now I'm here in Mankato, own a house, love my many hat jobs.
Jobs.
Are you going to get pregnant? Have a baby?
Oh Lord, are we going to talk about this on the podcast too?
Well, I was wondering if you wanted to finish your thought, because I did interject.
Right.
I was just wondering if you're going to start a family.
No. He already forgot. It's okay. But that's just something, as instead of the fear of like, oh, we're creating all this talent and then they leave. It's like, well, a lot of talent, though, they need to leave to spread their wings and grow and like have some real life experience. And then it's even then someone who's not even from
that's a great perspective.
This city
no, that's totally
originally or didn't study here. It'd be awesome to have someone who lived in LA and then had that big, huge city experience and bring a lot of that perspective.
Well, yeah, the food truck park is a result of a similar concept in Belize, in San Pedro.
Okay.
Or on Ambergris Key.
Okay.
So
right.
That is an example, right? So like I saw something cool.
Yeah.
And then you bring it back to Mankato.
Right.
And actually, Dane, in my top secret meeting that I had today at 10 a.m.
You can reveal the intellectual property.
I brought that up because it is a big hot topic, is retaining talent, and how do we do that? And it's something that Mankato is struggling with. So, but I also agree with what Stacy is saying is, I don't want to say, are we maybe barking up the wrong tree? Because I think retaining talent from the graduation, when they graduate college, is really important. And that is something that we should still strive to keep doing as a community. But I definitely think, too, that we should be thinking about exactly what you guys are talking about. People that do go out into the world and get a different perspective and a different just experience. And then coming back and bringing that back to the community and applying what they learned here.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, there's, and a lot of the times, I go to a lot of events, but I'm not like working as on the level like you guys do. You know what I'm saying? So I observe and hear a lot of things, even at like award ceremonies. A lot of people who are winning awards, like at the GMG stuff, last year, I swear, like most of them weren't even from Mankato originally. A lot of them were like, when I moved here, I didn't, So there is just that thought of mine. Observation. Songwriter, I observe. Yep.
You remember this is a podcast. They can't actually see it could be a video.
No, I think they're filming us over there.
Okay, yeah, that's right. But yeah, that was a cute move you just made.
Yes, I'm writing. A right move, writing.
So I don't know. Are we ahead or behind the curve in regard to the rest of the country, do you think?
We're behind.
Mankato's behind?
Yeah.
So we need to kick it into gear.
But part of us, we can't, that doesn't necessarily have to be a negative comment,
you learn from.
Yeah, we're a smaller community. We are in southern Minnesota. I feel like it's okay where we're at. One thing that is making me happy is that we're having the discussions. But are we behind? Yes. Well, what things that are happening in the Hubbard building and down here is not anything new. You know what I mean? Like a hub food truck park is not like a brand new idea. It's not like the founder who did that was like, I'm going to be the first person that does this.
Right.
They're happening in communities all over the United States, and they've been proven to be successful, and they've been proven to bring, the community together and all that stuff. Same with the co-working space. It's not a new idea. Co-working is happening all over the United States, all over the world, actually. Innovation districts are popping up all over the place.
Which is super exciting. I mean, there's a lot of, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but more in an artistic thought, is there's also a new rising on events that are just storytelling. Mm-hmm. So, like, you know, most people are just really used to going out and being like, go to the bar and listen to music, live music, or cover band or whatever. But it's almost like the original scene is now even diving into people hanging out, and it's storytelling stuff, which now it's me tangenting actually, and not on purpose, but even another event that Mogwai puts on called, can I say it?
It's called Fuck It.
Okay. you say it.
I'll say it.
I'm the mom.
Bring me to town and ask me to put on an event, and my event is called Fuck It.
Okay, there you go. But so it is almost like telling your story or storytelling. And tell me your story about that.
Well, so that again comes out of all of my research that I've been doing on innovation.
Okay.
How do you bring innovation to a community?
Right.
I don't know. So I just started Googling it and reading about it and learning about what other communities are doing. And one, like I said, to be innovative is to try something new. Mm-hmm. But we're human and life happens and we don't get roadmaps to any of this. So from what I learned from my research is a way to become an innovative community is by breaking down the stigma of failure. Communities can go one or two ways if businesses don't work out. Either they support that person and they help them pick themselves up and help, see what did we learn from this and how can I apply this differently and what do I maybe need to change to make it now become successful? Mm-hmm. Or it becomes this cautionary tale where it's, don't try that. Mm-hmm. John Smith tried that out and it didn't work out, and then no one ever tries it again because they're afraid.
Sorry, John.
Is there a John Smith?
John Smith, or is it John Doe? What's the, what name?
Well, both were general.
Yeah.
But Smith, people have last name Smith more than Doe.
Okay, sorry. John Doe, Jane Doe.
Whatever.
So anyways, it becomes this cautionary tale, and then everyone's afraid to try it again because it was tried that one time and it didn't work out.
Failure.
Yep. So, Fuck It is about sharing your story of your business idea, plan, whatever it was that didn't work out. And it's not a bashing session, but it's about taking ownership over that. And I know personally in my life, any of my darkest times have always been the most learning and growth. Mm-hmm. So when I feel like something's not working out or when I feel like something is failing, as much as I can't understand it in that time, it always reveals itself later down the road. Mm-hmm. And what is it that I learn from that? So these are people that are getting up and sharing their stories where at some point they had to say, fuck it, and just either move on or change something. And it's about being vulnerable. And what's been really interesting out of, we did our first series and then our second one is May 23rd, is just how much outreach I got from the community afterwards about how refreshing it was to hear a story about business that wasn't, this amazing, filter perfect, social media worthy, shining 100 likes story.
Right.
Because in my experience of business and anyone's business that I've helped grow, whether that be here in Minnesota, in Los Angeles, in New York, in Australia, it's never a straight, easy line.
No.
It's always really squirrely and hairy and crazy, and everyone's trying to figure it out and make it work the best way possible. So the feedback is that it was just nice and refreshing to hear that other people are going through the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. So.
Right.
And, I
never feel like I have a grasp on what I'm doing.
Yeah. We know.
I'm just putting that out there because it's real.
But it is. But that's what it's about. It's about being real. And that's how we're, what was interesting, one of our first speakers was Tony Friesen from Friesen's Bakery, which is now Wooden Spoon. Mm-hmm. And, they got a divorce. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. That's real life. Actually, isn't the statistic now that most marriages end that way? So it's actually more the norm than it's not the norm.
Oh, absolutely.
But how do you deal with that? And, they were both
So now he's Two Pins, right?
Yep. So now he's Two Pins Bakery. And what was interesting was that they had both reached out to me afterwards, thanking me for it. And I think because Mankato is a smaller community and there are a lot of networking events, everyone kind of does know each other. And, the owner of Wooden Spoon was wanting to get back out into the networking circuit, but just kind of felt because this had happened, like, how do I address the elephant in the room?
Right.
And now they feel that that's done and it's over with and they can move on.
That's nice.
Well, his ex-wife came.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time they had seen each other since the divorce.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of messy, right?
I don't know. I didn't, ask about
I think that's what he said, right, in the
divorce details. But
speech.
I think anytime a business is tied up within a marriage, it's probably going to be
I've always heard divorce is really easy.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty clean cut, straightforward. This didn't work out. You sign here. I'll sign here. And I'm going to take that, and you're going to take that, and we're all cool with it.
That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Good luck.
Yeah. So anyways, it was the first time they saw each other since they got divorced, and they're both business owners.
Right.
And I was holding my breath too, hoping that it works out for the best. But what I appreciated is that both walked away taking a positive experience.
Well, good.
From it. But then that's part of the healing process as a community.
Right.
You see how that comes all full circle? Something didn't work out. All of those feelings were felt behind all of it, And then to just be able to address it, move forward, that's how we're dealing with this. It didn't work out. Now we're going to move on.
So with the next one, do you know who your guests are?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you want to share that or do you want to wait?
No, we can share it. It's already on our Facebook event page. So it's Kristen Fisher. Mm-hmm. She's going to share a story of the Blue Tang Inn business.
Yes.
That did not work out.
Okay.
And then Chris Crowell is also going to share his story on a business that didn't work out.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get themes going with it. The first round of speakers was about co-ownership and when co-ownership doesn't work out. And we're still...
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So do you put that theme in your advertisement so people kind of know, or they just show up and find out?
It was in the first one.
Okay.
And I have to sit down with our next round of speakers, and we're going to try to discover if there's a common theme between that. But I think that theme is just a business just flat out not working out.
Oh, okay.
Is going to be the next round's theme.
Got it.
Yep.
Cool.
So it's a 6-part series, so we're going to do 3 of them in spring and then 3 of them in the fall.
Awesome.
Yep.
And Lacey was at the last one with Lola's too, right?
Yep. So she
had a fun story. It was funny. I met with her prior to 10 minutes before, and she was so nervous that she couldn't even handle it. I mean, she was just didn't even want to be there.
Yeah.
And I really feel like she was, in my opinion, the most it was just really engaging and just fun and light and easy, and she was telling her story of a business divorce. Mm-hmm. But she did really. I really enjoyed how well she articulated the process in positivity.
Yeah.
And how much, how possible it is to move on in a partnership and come out on the other side with both parties feeling like they're okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I thought that was really cool.
Well, it seems to be even the outcoming theme from both of the speakers.
Yeah, and they both were like that.
Yep.
And very organic, very real. Mm-hmm. It wasn't hey, we're sugarcoating this because we want everyone to believe we're okay.
No. Right. So they have a set of 10 questions that each speaker has to answer, and it helps to keep them on track. Uh-huh. And then we do sit down and meet with each other beforehand. Like Lacey and I, we sat down for about 3 hours and kind of, because it and that's what I want people to understand, with that when they come here, these guests, they are nervous. It is nerve-wracking.
Sure.
Can you imagine being a business that is associated with the word fail, and the title of it is Fuck It, and you're going to share it to the community? That takes a lot of bravery. And so that's where I try to be really just protective of my speakers and also the guests that come, and just have it be a really safe environment for
Right.
people to be able to just share and listen and ask questions. But yeah, she was definitely nervous. I was nervous too, though.
We all get nervous.
Yeah.
That's a normal thing.
Lola's did our wedding,
She did.
and it was the best weekend of food I've ever experienced in my
Yeah.
entire life.
It was really good.
And I'm a culinary kind of person, so I like to go out and splurge a little on good food. Mm-hmm. And I swear that was I'm positive, actually. There's like no doubt in my mind that was the best food I've had consecutively, like meal after meal. Ever.
That's true.
We had talked about
Lacey, she should give
when we are like
cooking lessons so I can
when we
make that your daily experience.
when we figure out rich and famous, assuming you'll be rich
Okay.
and I'll be famous.
Right.
That
Probably.
Yeah. That we would just figure out a way to just have Lacey just around.
Yeah.
We would just
Cooking.
we would just make her part of our life. Like that's how good her food is. Honestly.
It is amazing.
She's going to be at the opening day of the Hub Food Truck
Oh,
Park
good.
on May 1st.
Well, that's perfect.
If you want to experience what they're talking about for yourself.
It's true.
We recommend the hot mess. It's going to be the only hot mess that you'll ever actually want in your life.
Nice.
You'll crave the hot mess on a weekly basis.
Right.
I just really need some more hot mess in my life.
It's like rosemary fries and gravy and meat and stuff. It's
Yeah.
really ridiculous.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like
So
chives.
it sounds like you have a lot of like fun or innovative events and things. Do you have anything else on the books? I'm just curious.
So we've got Wine Wednesday is happening this Wednesday down in Mogwai. It's a free networking event that happens once a month.
Okay.
You bring your business cards, I'll bring the wine.
All right.
And
Do you have speakers at that, or is
Yep.
it okay?
so every month we highlight a local business. This one is Ted Boris, Help You Resolve Your IRS. So we just all filed our taxes.
Yay!
Yep. What happens if you get audited?
Oh no!
Yeah. I've been
Are
personally.
you going to bring more wine for those that are like?
That's when we moved to Bermuda. Bye.
They're like hearing what he has to say and they're
Yeah.
like pouring more.
So, but it's good that we have people in our community like Ted that
Right.
is around to help you.
Absolutely.
I was personally audited myself when I was in LA, and I remember I opened up the letter and I was like, "Is this a joke?" And I was
Is
like,
this real?
"Yeah." And it just happened to also be the year that the government shut down, so I couldn't like actually call anyone to
no.
like what the directions were. I was like, "What do you do?" And yeah, thank God I had kept. I like to say I fought the law and I won. Because everything was right.
Oh,
But it was stressful. Mm-hmm. And I sent probably about 3 inches of
they probably just saw what you sent and they're like, "Ugh, just let her go. It's fine."
No, they call you, and they call you from a blocked phone number. And I was working on set for.
What if no one answers?
Well, no, that's what was happening. I was on the set of Lifetime TV network. I was
Okay.
filming a show called Girlfriend Intervention, right?
Okay.
And we're filming, so I can't be the wardrobe girl that answers my
Blocked call.
IRS phone call.
Excuse me, the IRS is calling.
I'm sorry, if we could just hold up this filming production, that would be great.
Guys, put your feelings on hold, Lifetime.
Yeah.
I gotta take this IRS call.
Yeah, but they call you from a blocked number, so I would be like, I see you calling, and I would want to connect with them because the government was shut down, so I didn't know, like, what am I supposed to give you? So
That's funny. It's like your personal life became a Lifetime movie of,
yeah,
no, it's the only time I could talk to
right?
the IRS.
Yeah, not without my taxes. Instead of like not without my daughter or like some crazy
I'm not sure.
Lifetime movie.
I have not seen that one, so I can't. Not without my daughter. Not without my taxes.
So
Well-
anyways, that was a tangent. Anyways, back to Ted.
Ted.
Yep, Ted.
Ted will talk.
Ted will be here on Wednesday to help tell you how he can help you resolve your IRS
I
problems.
bet his first thing would be like, answer the phone call.
Yep.
right?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
You gotta come.
I guess so.
Yep.
So I'm gonna roll into real quick a tiny intermission on sponsorship. Right?
Sure. I don't know.
So I just want to point out for a second that we are sitting in a fantastic studio provided by Bolten and Menk Studios. Mm-hmm. And this is like all brand new equipment, super comfortable. So thank you to Bolten and Menk Studios for letting us record here. And we even have a guy. We even have a guy right over there.
There is.
That's Tony. He's rocking it. He does all the everything. Whatever everything is, I don't even know what it all is.
He's waving at you right now.
So it's a bunch of stuff that he does on top of just I feel really comfortable in here. So
Absolutely.
I think that you can come down and schedule a time to do your own recording. They have a green screen and a bunch of technology here that'll help you get your video and voice heard. And they're kind of a marketing team, so that's cool too. I would also encourage, maybe just throwing it out there, that maybe Bolten and Menk Studios could help us in recording the Fuck It series. That would be pretty cool because I think we should air those.
Tony.
I think that would be pretty neat. Because that was a little bit of feedback that I got on the last one is that, oh my gosh, someone actually texted me and said, that was the most real speaking event conversation that I've ever seen. I hope someone was recording that. And I started thinking like, I actually don't think anyone was recording any of it.
No.
I do think though, people say that though with even music and they're like, oh, just FaceTime it so we can see it. I'm also a little bit like, if you want to see it, you should come.
Right.
I understand.
But it could be released later.
Right.
Like we don't have to do it live.
Later.
So
Yeah.
it'd be like what Hulu does.
Fair enough.
Son of a.
Well, yeah.
You're like, it's not live. It's live TV, but the shows are like a day behind or something, aren't they?
Yeah, 24.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that.
Well,
Because then I always get spoiled. Like, I get spoiled on everything all the time.
I don't know what to tell you.
Hulu, get your shit together. Okay, and then the second thing...
Sponsorship moment? Is that
this is our sponsorship moment. So now we'd always like to give our guests a chance to have like a 2-minute pitch.
Oh,
What's your
spring that on you.
What's your 2-minute pitch for Mogwai? And go.
Wow.
My 2-minute pitch for Mogwai? Well, if you're curious about it, I would say you should take advantage of our 3 free days of co-working and just come down and check it out for yourself, in all honesty. I think the space kind of sells itself. I don't know. Dane, what are you doing this 2-minute pitch on me last minute? Dane
I told you about this before we started, didn't I?
No.
Take your time.
I thought I did.
No.
Oh.
Well, Mogwai Collaborative is a co-working space, and one of my favorite facts about it is that it was created by 17 local businesses here within the region. So it's a space that has been designed to support the modern entrepreneur in our region. And I like literally from the floor up that we stand behind our mission statement. Our memberships are all inclusive. They're $249 a month, which breaks down to $8 a day. So for $8 a day, you get free convenient parking, free fiber internet, free coffee, free espresso, free 24/7 secured access, sit-stand desks, phone booths, state-of-the-art media room, conference rooms, and then you also have easy access to amazing places like this Bolten and Menk studio that we're literally right next to, or the Hub Food Truck Park is right next to you. The Small Business Development Center is inside in our building. So if you need help with your business plan, that's a free, no-cost service that is right here within the building. There's literally unlimited networking events that are going on the second floor at the Center of Innovation and Entrepreneurship that are also free for people to come in and just start networking. So honestly, that's my pitch for $8 a day.
Wow.
Yep, you get
That's
a lot.
awesome.
And not that there's anything wrong with coffee shops. We love coffee shops, but this is a space that is designed to help evoke creativity, collaboration, networking, but also wow your clients. If you're a startup business, or let's say you work from home and you land a really big meeting, having a meeting in a space like Mogwai that is designed to be professional and be for working is going to be a lot more. I mean, honestly, it's just probably going to put down a better first impression than having that meeting at your kitchen table or having it at a coffee shop that you don't have a guaranteed spot to be at. So there's also benefits to that. You know, I could go on and on and on about all the benefits of co-working, but the biggest thing that people say when they work from home is that you think it's going to be great, but you start to become really lonely and you miss that routine of getting dressed, you know, for girls, putting your makeup on, doing your hair, putting that outfit out, presenting that persona to the world and having that difference in your home life and then your work life. Where with co-working, it helps combat the loneliness and you can talk to other people that are going through similar either business peaks or business lows. And there's a really just nice community that comes out of it.
I used to work out.
That was longer than 2 minutes.
I don't think so. It was probably about Tony.
It's 2 minutes.
Was
I see that sounded perfect because I'm used to the BNI ones where you only get 60 seconds, and some of the chapters where they have like 30 plus members is only 45 seconds.
Yeah.
So you do start to realize how much you can actually fit in because you think about it like a commercial is usually only 30 seconds, but it seems like it's forever. When you're like waiting for your show to come on.
Yeah.
and
I
you're
don't
watching
know.
it.
I was like interested in everything you said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
good.
it sounds like a great spot to be. How about the executive space?
So the executive space is basically the answer to the people that walk into Mogwai Collaborative and they really love the vibe and the feel because, like I said, I actually didn't say this. We have hoverboards and swings and floor-to-ceiling murals that were created by local artists. We also have a rotating Artist of the Month program, so every month you get fresh new art to look at. But let's say you're like, cool, this is amazing, but I need a place to permanently set up my desk and I need to lock my door and I've got security, privacy, all of these stipulations for my job. That's when then you go up to Mogwai Executive because
In this building?
In the building, yep. Thanks.
So you still get to go down and explore through
So
everything, all the other
Mogwai-
things that you just said.
Yep. So Mogwai Executive is private lockable offices that you can set up shop. Still got the same vibe as Mogwai Collaborative. So it's not stuffy or stale. It's fun, fresh, and playful. But then you get total access to the collaborative space as well.
That's
So
nice.
you can utilize that space. And then we also have a second floor boardroom that has been completely remodeled and is pretty sweet. That
Nice.
also comes with your membership.
So that's pretty stellar. Just walking through the building, it's like,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, I guess I designed it, so I have.
Well, some people say that's one heck of a deal.
That is one heck of a deal.
I understand. I'm trying not to be biased, but
Well-
it is pretty cool space.
You know, like if you think about the $8 a day, and like I was thinking about, you know, you got free parking. A lot of places you have to pay for parking. You have free coffee and espresso. Like you could literally spend that amount of money on before you even get to work.
Yeah, 2 lattes is about $8.
So, and then the fact that all the other things are free. It's just, yeah, it's nice.
And partnership stuff too, right?
You
There's
get 10% off of 3D printing services. And then we have been talking with Bolten and Menk about a discount on podcast services,
studio time.
studio time.
Okay.
That's
And
also, though, probably still
know Ben-
another
I-
top secret.
Oh,
Oh, that's fine.
We're not.
That's not intellectual property.
That's not.
No.
We haven't quite worked out the fine-tuned
details.
details.
But that would be really cool though. Like, because I know having multiple businesses that I always need video and marketing material. Like I need collateral.
Yep.
And so it's just really great to have it right here.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think the whole concept behind all of the businesses kind of being symbiotic in this building seemed to be working. It's working really well. So that's cool. You know, even like, you know, what's interesting is this, this space that we're in right now
Yeah.
used to be like a storage room, mail room, warehousey kind of thing going on. And it's just, it's kind of interesting how transformed everything in this building is.
Right. Was that in the 80s
Yeah.
or 90s?
The 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Oh, I was just trying to go back to
Oh, yeah.
malls in the 90s.
They had mailrooms too.
I'm sure. Start in the mailroom.
Yeah, swing line. So
That's my stapler.
cool.
That's my stapler.
Nice.
Anyone?
Yeah, office space, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good job.
Office
Okay.
joke.
So I'm good with where we're at. Tony, what are we at for time, guy?
We're at an hour, 3 minutes.
1 hour, 3 minutes.
Awesome.
That's great.
Is that long enough?
Yeah, that's perfect. If everyone has stayed engaged this long, we thank you for listening. We're happy to facilitate anything that you'd need. You can just reach out to us, and we're available at info@hubbardbuilding.com. We should think about making a Facebook thing.
We are. That's happening.
Like an Old Town Podcast Facebook page? Is that real? I don't
Sure.
want to manage another Facebook page, really.
It's fine.
But we'll figure it out. But that would be cool. You could reach out to us on that when we get it set up, but we don't have it yet. But this is the
Right.
second episode.
To just kind of recap with our guest that we have here with Stephanie. So, with just what's coming up before we take off, again, she's got the opening of the Hub.
Yeah, May 1st. I'm already checking the weather like the complete psychopath that I am. And it's a 40% chance of thunderstorms, so I don't know what kind of...
But that's like a 60% chance of awesomeness. though.
Right,
That's true.
Right. So everyone just do your rain dances and put out the good energy that we have good weather.
Or don't do the rain dance.
Or, yeah.
Because the rain dance is to
Would make
promote
the rain come.
Yeah, don't do that.
Can you do a dance to keep the rain away? I mean,
if
it's
there's a
fine if it
sun
happens.
dance,
There's
I don't
only
know.
so much I can try to control in life,
Right.
and I think I'm going to let it go with the weather. But this is just...
Well, yeah, I was just got a lot of exciting things kind of happening just within these couple of blocks of Old Town. So,
Yeah.
thanks for contributing and adding your energies to make this part of Mankato hopefully a spot that people want to come check out.
Yeah.
So there's always someone behind the scenes that's making cool stuff happen.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
it
just
takes a lot of work.
Encourage you to get out, shop local, support local.
And take a tour of Mogwai.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Come down, see me at Mogwai. You guys should come down and see me at the Hubbard building. We can look at the live plant wall that we did here. We've got solar panels up on the building, so that's fun. We're 120% clean energy. Farmers market's going to be coming down here. Food trucks are coming down here. Meeting with the Old Town Association, try to get some cool events. We've got the silo art project that's happening this summer. They're
Wow.
painting the silos this summer. The artist is coming all the way from Australia.
Nice.
I feel like we should try to get that artist on the show.
Huh.
Yeah.
See, look what happens here.
Yep.
Very
I'm on a
innovative.
committee for that too, so
Have them come to the
that's
Old
one
Town
of my
podcast.
hats.
That'd be a
That's
good idea.
hat 4.
Do you change your hats according to?
I have 3 that I have in rotation.
Okay.
Yeah. Main ones.
Well, we'll just put this out there that maybe a great gift for the director of Mogwai would just be a variety of hat styles.
Yep.
Sure. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. I still think that intro music that we have for Old Town podcast needs to be taken from the train now.
Right.
That's my new
And,
my new thing. I
a
want
major shout out to Jason McGlone who made that
Yeah.
audio file. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and he's out of what studio?
He works out of Hideaway Studios up in Minneapolis,
And that's Northeast.
Northeast Minneapolis.
Yeah. Not too far down from there is the Makers. Northeast Maker Space.
That's
That's-
a fun space too.
That's where I get all those games. The mini beanbag thing and the cube and baseball and tippy cup. They're all little fun games that I have upstairs in the Hubbard lobby.
Yeah, and then tangent again, we could definitely have someone from the Mankato Makerspace come around here too.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Variety.
So these are all things. Hey, are you feeling pretty good about everything in Old Town right now? Just on a final note.
Yeah. I think that there's lots of good stuff that's in the works. I think that how much do you want me to dive into this? Like, I definitely think that there's things that we could improve on, and that has been a big topic where crosswalks are important. If we want this to be a walkable, thriving place, people need to be able to cross the street safely. Mm-hmm. It's not really anything
It's not
next level that I'm thinking here.
Safety
Cross
first.
the street.
I want a mom and dad and kid or whoever,
Well,
your dog, to be able to cross the street. If you want to go to, let's say you want to go to the coffee hag from the food truck park, it's not so easy. Mm-hmm. Let's say you want to go to one of the awesome stores that we have all on Riverfront, it's a little bit more challenging. So I would say we need to figure out from a community level how to make that happen and make sure that traffic still stays effective and all of that.
Right. Well, a lot of that, too, just is creating vibe for this part of town.
Yep.
Like you referred it to Stillwater. Mm-hmm. There's tons of traffic that goes through there, but they're not zipping through like fast. I was going to use an example, but I did on the first episode, so it's all good.
So I would definitely say there's tons more work that we can do, because I wouldn't say like right now we're maxed out at our creative maximum space with what we can do as a community down here in Old Town. But I think it's definitely well on its way. And I'm definitely feeling a vibe from all the businesses about coming together and creating this culture and just overall event space that betters all of us, not just one business, but all of us. Right. And with all of these awesome things that we have going on this summer, and like I said, hopefully the weather works in our favor, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting summer, especially with that artist coming from Australia. I mean, I think that's going to be huge. And maybe that will force the city to make a safer crosswalk happen faster.
Yeah, how's he going to get across the street with all those paints?
So if you want to reach out and have any questions for Stephanie, how do we get a hold of you, Steph?
You will send me an email so send it. Probably the best one would be Stephanie@mogwaicollaborative.com. STEPHANIE MOGWAICOLLABORITIVE. Did I spell it right? .com?
I think people can spell it collaborative. Mogwai is spelled MOGWAI.
Yep.
Mogwai.
When you got to collaborative, I was starting to spell a different word in my head. So.
Okay.
Oh, and Mogwai is, if you really get stuck, Mogwai is from Steven Spielberg's 1987's Gremlins.
Yes.
So if you're struggling with remembering what's going on, but if you remember Gremlins, you can look that up, and Mogwai is the little, that's Gizmo. Gizmo is the little Mogwai. He just does that move.
Yep. Mogwai. That was good.
Yep.
And then he does the whistle thing.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool. So if you look at that, you can get a hold of Stephanie if you have any questions on co-working. If you have any questions on the Old Town Podcast, it's info@hubbardbuilding.com. And in the meantime, have a stellar month, stellar rest of the day.
We'll see you at the grand opening of the Hub.
We'll see you at the grand opening of the Hub May 1st at basically like 11.
11 to 2.
11 to 2, so
And
it's a
if
lunch rush.
Yep.
Cool.
And if that doesn't work for you, come down on Saturday. You don't need to have a Star Wars costume, but it would sure be a lot cooler if you did.
I think,
Nice.
I'd like to call out like a fun.com or something to have all of their employees come down
Yep. Bring the kids.
Stormtrooper outfits or what costumes.
Yep.
And flash dance quick, because they have plenty of time to rehearse for that.
Sure.
Funny.
Because that would be sweet. Anyway,
All right.
that's the vision.
Okay.
Thanks
thank
for
you.
listening, everybody, and thank you, Stephanie, for coming on board, and thank you, Bolten and Menk Studios, for recording this. We are live from the Hubbard building, but we're closing off for the day. We'll see you next month. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Is there